simple, really. My clients told me I was a good coach, and I thought I was a consultant. So I've been going around the world in all sorts of countries, Brazil, Turkey, Slovakia, and over that time my results had got better and better, and I hadn't really realised until my clients told me that I'd actually stopped being a consultant and I was actually coaching. So what they liked was that their people were learning how to do the stuff that I was teaching them, and the results were absolutely fantastic. So I realised I was a coach, and then I started to look at what else in my life had changed, and I realised I needed to get back home to the family and not be globetrotting. And I was looking for an opportunity that would allow me to coach business owners from home rather than travelling. And ActionCOACH was just there for me, I just found it. And it's been fantastic. I haven't flown since joining Action. So goal number 1 achieved, I'm absolutely delighted. That's an easy question. I mean, you can't do it on your own. What are the figures? Something like 75% of businesses fail in the first 3 years. Another 5 go in the next 5. So if you want to succeed, you've got to get help. Every top sportsman knows it. Even junior football teams, everybody has a coach. Why is it small business owners try and do it on their own? It's tough. Get help. I think the best thing for me is when a client comes to me and says, well, you know this stuff that we've been doing in the business, well, guess what, I've just now been applying it in my personal life too. Stuff maybe they've run away from or they've been in denial about, and they've made those breakthroughs. And you see a happy partner as well, you realise there was something there, but they made that breakthrough by themselves. Or they come back to you and say, hey, this month's results, they've just gone way up because I did this and I did that. And you say, where did that come from? Well, it was something we discussed here and it triggered that thought there, and then this action happened. And fantastic. See people taking those steps and getting some great results. That's really what it's about. I guess the most dramatic result was probably with the Army. I was a cadet at school and went to see the Army, the Royal Marines, the Navy, and learnt a lot from people training me. And one of the things is basically never ever give up. And in my sporting life I was up against a very, very good competitor one race, rowing. I was a sculler. And everybody knew that this guy was going to beat me. I knew he was going to beat me, but I determined that I was not going to give up. I was going to race this guy, and I beat him. It was only afterwards we realised he was older than me. We'd both had 10 races that day and the previous day, and I was younger and I recovered. But if I hadn't tried, I would have lost. And I use that in my business life. You just got to keep going. And that's what it's about. And if you accept that's the journey, it's much easier. I'm a good listener. I can tune in to what clients are really thinking, and I can use that skill that maybe even if it's something they don't want to reveal to me, I can lead them with some questions to the point where they get the understanding without me prying into their background. I think it's important to give the client that space. I really want them to win, so I use that tenacity and that desire to get to the goal to help them with the questions that we use as coaches. And I think that's what people really appreciate. And they look back and see how far they've come, and that, it's by themselves. They took the steps, not the coach. Of course we were there, but they did it, and that's the fantastic thing, helping people do that. Probably the number one thing above all is belief. To believe in themselves, because a lot of people, it seems a lot of negative programming out there, and to ignore that, it's not their business. Yeah, believe in yourself, you're good. And I think the second thing, equally important, is to dream and to know that you can dream and it can come true. So many people have ignored that because they told themselves it can't be. Well, guess what? It can. And helping them realise that and go towards it, fantastic. The best quote I can give you for that, Melanie, she said, I was the first person ever, which is quite humbling really, that listened to her. And as a business owner, She had felt such a burden from so many advisors telling her you'd got the wrong idea, the wrong thing, that won't work, do it this way. Nobody had taken the time to understand her and her business. And she told me I was the first person to really listen. And the unblocking that came from that one meeting was unbelievable. Just being there for the client, that's what it's about. Where do you want to go? Doesn't matter how far. If you need the belief and you want the permission to dream, and you want to have the tenacity and the persistence to get to that place that you've never been before, I'll help you get there.